she breaks, takes as she please. The storms, they roll across the sea. The waves, they crash in the winded house. I'll make it back to you somehow. Ain't no storm gonna hold me back. Ain't no river I can't cross. No mountain too steep, no valley too deep. I'll make it back to you somehow. Whether she breaks, takes as she please. Storms, they roll across the sea. The waves, they crash in the winded house. I'll make it back to you somehow. Never should have left, I never should have roamed. A fool so far from my home. But if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, I'll make it back to you somehow. Whether she breaks, takes as she please. Storms, they roll across the sea. Waves, they crash in the winded house. I'll make it back to you somehow. Fly, take to the sky, and head straight home to you now. But the miles are long and the road is hard. I'll make it back to you somehow. Whether she breaks, takes as she please. Storms, they roll across the sea. The waves, they crash in the winded house. I'll make it back to you somehow. Whether she breaks, takes as she please. The storms, they roll across the sea, roll across the sea. Waves, they crash in the winded house. I'll make it back to you somehow.
Hi, and welcome to Live in the Loam. I'm Pete Pastoor, your host. Live in the Loam is a pop-up show, and what that means is when artists or bands or groups or duos come through the Davis area, we like to have them in the studio, and we do it on their time frame. Live in the Loam can be seen on, in this episode, can be seen on Comcast 15, that's on DMA, Davis Media Access, and also on KDRT 95.7 FM on your dial. And today with us, we have a band from Colorado called Sweetwater String Band. And in the band, we have Dave Hubner on cello, Pat Ferguson on bass, Scott Roberts on mandolin, and Jeff Meadway on guitar. And welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a real treat to have you in the studio.
It sure is a real treat.
So Scott's going to be talking with me for a little bit. So I guess one of the first things I need to know is what makes you guys tick? This is just, I mean, when you guys play, you could have played that for an hour and I'd be sitting here mesmerized. So something is happening here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's just, we've been a band now 6 years, so playing together a whole bunch and really kind of listening is something that we do particularly well, is listening and making sure that there's room for everybody to add little bits and pieces.
Right.
And we try to arrange our songs so that every instrument has an important part and just gets this kind of groove going that we can kind of find and enjoy. And you're right, we could probably play that song for another hour and have fun ourselves.
You know, the opening lick on that song, by the way, is the first song on your CD, right? The Weather She Breaks.
That's right.
And you guys do kind of a nice thing on many of your songs, if not all of them. You have a nice little opening lick that's kind of like a hook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like go ahead and play that little opening lick for that one. Yeah. And then, other things start going in, and you just want to keep listening, trying to figure it out. Who comes up with these ideas?
Well, all of us, really. Dave Hubner and I write most of the music.
Okay.
And sometimes we write the opening lick, or sometimes I'll come to the band with a song that doesn't have an arrangement at all, or has just kind of a vague melody, and Jeff or Pat will have ideas of how to come up with something to make it pop, make it interesting, and make it something we all want to play, which is the most important part, right?
And you call yourself a cello-based bluegrass band.
Yeah, cello-driven bluegrass.
Driven, yes, cello-driven is the word.
We've used, yeah.
I do a lot of driving.
You do a lot of driving. So you're cello-based or driven bluegrass, but your bluegrass has a very modern feel to it. Is that something you work on?
I think it comes naturally for us,
Okay.
really. I mean, we love the old-time bluegrass, please don't get me wrong. And I love the great old mandolin players, but our sound just kind of happens just because we don't have the fiddle and the banjo, and so we need to fill in those spaces, particularly the banjo, and replace it with a cello.
Right.
And so Dave has really invented, and come up with his own really way of filling those spaces and how to use the cello to rhythmically do some of the things that a fiddle would do or a banjo would do.
Okay. So, and in a lot of your songs, the cello and sometimes the bass, it's almost like a haunting sound in the background. Do you work on that sound, or does that sort of just come up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we work on the arrangements of these songs quite a bit, and go with what seems to match the words, and find where it doesn't get in the way, where it just creates either a foundation. Like, I don't need to do too much of the same of what the bass is doing. I need to do something that adds to it, or is
Yeah. So you're going to be playing at Sophia's tonight here in Davis.
That's right.
And oh boy, now I'm drawing a blank. What's the date today?
I think it's March 26th. I asked the same
26th.
question
Okay,
earlier.
so March 26th. Because if someone's watching this show after that, they're going to go to Sophia's.
No.
And so, okay, March 25th. What time's the show?
It's at 9 p.m.
Okay.
And we're playing with a great band out of Davis called Pen Mixia,
Okay.
who are friends of ours, and we're real psyched to play with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to kick things off at 9, and we're on at 10.
So you played here once before that I know of. Do you come here through this area regularly?
No,
Okay.
I think we were in Davis for the first time ever last year,
Okay.
as this group.
The you're on a tour now, and it's like what, a 12-city tour, even more?
I think it ends up being 16, 17 nights in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have to we really pack it in when we.
So you start what, in Colorado and work your way to the West Coast and then up and down the coast?
This time we met on the coast of California,
Okay.
actually for a very good friend's wedding, and which was a blast there in Point Reyes. And then we were in Petaluma and Healdsburg and Santa Cruz. We had a fun time in Santa Cruz, and
Okay.
we're here in Davis, and then we're up in Mendocino this weekend for at a vineyard, and then also at a benefit concert for a local cancer society.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to that. And then we're back in San Francisco. So it's kind of a
Round and
convoluted
round.
little round and round. I think we're going to end up driving over the Golden Gate Bridge about 1,200,000 times.
Well, you're going to have to mortgage your house if you do that. It's not cheap anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your album, but maybe before we do that, can you play us another one here?
We'd love to.
Okay, super. And what will this be?
Do a song called Working Man's Blues.
Working Man's Blues. Okay.
We'll try to have a little bit of that haunting.
There you go. I love the haunting.
Sun comes up as the deal goes down. Another man laid upon the ground. The fire's still hot, but the gun is cold. No one speaks, yeah, the story untold. Forgotten women, forgotten men, forgotten lies all told again. But the truth is clear as the morning sky. The gambling man walks and the working man dies. The wind comes up as the price goes down. Another small farm plowed into the ground. Machines don't see and machines don't care. And these machines just will not spare one single cent from the bottom line. One single acre of sacrifice. The dollar won't stop for my simple rhyme. The dollar won't stop till it owns my life. Where is your guilty conscience, man? Where is your shame? All you speak is indifference. All your greed has been gained from the working man. Well, the line is drawn and the bullets fly. Don't look twice. The pain in your eyes, hope and change have been fooled again. The same old talk, the same old spin. You fight for your country, don't fight for your home. Last man standing won't be spared. The storm that we hold needs truth to be self-evident. Except for you, my friends, your truth's been spent. Where is your guilty conscience, man? Where is your shame? All you speak is indifference. All your greed has been gained from the working man.
one speaks, yeah, the story untold. Forgotten women, forgotten men, forgotten lies untold again. But the truth is clear as the morning sky. The gambler man walks, and the working man dies.
Thank you, guys. That come on back here, Scott. That was that has a little bit of a political feel to it.
You bet.
Huh? Tell me, is a lot of your music dabbles in a little trying to get a message out?
I think we try to keep it mixed. We
Okay.
certainly have a number of songs on this record that are about something in particular, a very
Right.
tangible thing, whether it's a person or a message that we're trying to convey or a feeling we're trying to convey. And other tunes we have that are just straight fun.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think that, like I said before, we like to play music that we feel
Right.
and want to play and want to sing those words. And Dave does a great job writing some of those songs of getting the words that he wants to say out into a beautiful way in a song.
Right. When you sing songs that are politically, and I don't know if politically motivated is the right word, but there's a message there. Is there anybody in your group that might not agree with that message, where you might have an issue? I mean,
No.
there's 4 of you, and
Yeah.
so everybody has a different opinion.
Yes. No, luckily everybody gets along pretty well. We kind
Okay.
of are like-minded. We don't agree on everything, of course, but
Right.
at least on the political stuff, I think a lot of our message is a middle ground. It's a middle message.
Right.
It's not really an extreme one way or the other. And
Right.
so I think that it's easy to kind of fall in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, your album, Sweetwater String Band, is called, from Sweetwater String Band, is called River of Rhymes. So that's been released last year or this year?
Last year, it was June of 2014.
Okay, how long did you spend putting this album together?
We did two recording sessions, both in Durango, Colorado, which is where I live. And these guys came out from, at the time, all living in California.
Okay.
And we stayed at my house, and we're lucky enough to have a great sound engineer, Doug Eagle, up there in Durango,
Okay.
Colorado, who did the recordings for us. And we went out there, we did maybe a week in December, I think, and then, in the middle of a tour, we tried to do it, with a bunch of live music so we could test out the songs.
You were involved in the mixing and the producing, your band was involved, or did you hire people to do this for you?
A little of both.
Okay.
Yeah, the final touches and kind of the final decisions were certainly, we had Doug Eagle do it, but we all sat in a room and endlessly
What-
added our input.
What about sequence of the songs? Was that a big discussion?
It was a big discussion, and I
It's,
think I'm really pleased with our choice at this point. But we went back and forth.
What
We made a
did
bunch
you
of
look
different-
for, and what do you look for when you sequence songs?
Well, I think on this record, for example, there is some heavy material like
Right.
that last song, and we just wanted to make sure we mixed it up with some of our lighter numbers and slow and fast. There's a bunch of different tempos on
Right.
this record. It's not all just the bluegrass.
Yeah.
There is a few of those on there too.
And the cover art, the insert, it's all very, very professional. And I think this is one of the first CDs I've seen where the CD picture flows with the artwork and the rest of the CD. It's very, very cool. So
Yeah.
now when you put your CD away, you're always like, okay, it has to be just perfect,
Yeah,
right?
you're
That
like,
little
"Oh,
black
right
spot
there."
has to pack up.
Well, kudos to Dave Hubner, who did all the graphic design work on
Perfect.
this record, and a lot of his photography is in the booklet.
Okay.
And it's got song lyrics. so.
Dave,
Yeah.
you're a photographer also?
Yeah. Yep. Man of a few different trades.
Okay. What kind of photography do you do?
Mostly landscape photography is
Okay.
what I've done. But I do a little bit of everything. I've been published in Surfer's Journal and different things. So doing.
You know, you have that
profiles on
surfer
people
look
and-
about you.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm a California native, so I grew up in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I survived.
Which beach did you surf at?
Oh, I didn't. I barely learned how to surf in LA. It was too busy and full of people.
Okay.
And, I just got pummeled by the ocean when I tried to do it there. But I started going down to Baja, Mexico. Geez, I guess 12 years ago now, and
Okay.
I started surfing there.
So, and you helped write most of the music,
Yeah, Scott and I
right?
trade off.
And did you have any musical background at all? Any formal training?
Yes, I was a classical musician as a kid for 10 years, I guess,
Okay.
from age 7 to 17. So.
Why would you give up on classical music?
I was.
Or maybe you didn't give up. Maybe you're still playing.
I mean, I am still doing some, but that's more like kicking and screaming. But it was very intense. A lot of practicing. I was good at it, and so I got more and more pressure to. Like that was going to be it, you know. You're going to go to Juilliard, and then you're going to be in an orchestra, I suppose, or teach.
Right.
And I honestly, at the time, I just wanted to go be a ski bum. I just
Okay.
wanted to move to the mountains.
So, okay,
like,
and so
I'm done with this.
you ended up, where did all of you meet? Was that here in California, or you're based in
Yeah.
Colorado, right?
No, it's a little complex,
It's
but
complicated.
I happen
Okay,
to live in
maybe I should have
Colorado.
had-
Dave happens to live now in Wyoming.
Okay.
But and Jeff is in Crowley Lake, California, which is
Okay.
near where we met, and Pat's still in June Lake, California, which is near where we met. So we all met in Mammoth Lakes, California.
Right.
At my
Okay.
house, probably.
But where are you guys based now?
That's,
We would say in
That's
the
still
Eastern
in-
Sierra.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're California.
Yeah.
Okay, from reading that, I thought it was kind of Colorado, but,
yeah.
It's kind of a lot of both. We like
little
to.
of everything.
We play a lot in Colorado.
so,
too.
and Pat, you're on the bass there.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your musical background.
I've been playing bass for since I was 15 and having the upright for about 10 years. I love it a lot of fun, really heavy.
Formal training? Formal training?
Nothing on the bass. I played saxophone when I was a little kid.
Okay,
That was it.
alrighty. And then we have Jeff on the guitar. And Jeff, your musical background,
You
had
know,
a lot of
I,
bands in high school and that kind of stuff?
Not really. I call myself, I was a guitar owner for a very long time.
Okay,
You know, could strum some chords and did this and that. Never really took it seriously until I met these guys, you know, 5-6 years ago. And all of a sudden people were enjoying the music and I decided I should probably learn how to play it. So it's,
He's being
you
humble.
know,
He's
just
a great guitar player and always has
just
been,
all
but-
self-taught, you know, and but yeah, the last 6 years I've been taking it a lot more seriously.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Scott, as being the spokesman today for the group, is this, in 5 years, where would you like to see this group be? Yeah, is your goal to be nationally recognized? Is your goal to perform an art that you guys really enjoy?
I think that the ultimate goal is to bring our music to as many people as we can, because
Okay.
we believe in it and are like these songs and like playing them. I think the national level is where we'd like to go next. Right now we're kind of concentrating on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I'm from the Southeast. I'm from Alabama and Kentucky, and I'd love to go back there and play these songs and visit old friends back there too.
Okay.
So
If a personal question would be, why? Why do you want to do this?
me personally,
Yeah, you personally. Why do you want to do this? It just seems
You know,
like so much work.
it is so
Yeah,
much work.
I know.
and
I
think
can tell.
people don't understand how much work
You know,
it is.
most
but
people in their jobs would say, "Well, I do it because I need the money." But you can't say that doing this.
yeah, I do it. I do it because it's fun
Yeah.
and because I love the songs that we play.
Okay.
I think Dave's a great songwriter and I believe in his work and my songs I just love writing and I love working with these guys to arrange the songs to be interesting and to be dynamic, and that's just so gratifying. We just worked up a new song yesterday, and that's the best part
Yeah.
to me is working on this stuff.
Dave, for you, performing or writing, which gives you the greater thrill?
Ooh, that's hard to say because when you write a new song, sometimes that gives you hours upon hours of enjoyment as you're working it out and getting excited about it. But I've always loved performing, so I think that's probably why I keep doing it and why I'm willing to just put the work in and the time, because I love the moment that you step on stage and you get to communicate your song that you care so much about to all these new people.
Yeah.
And touring, you are communicating it to new people all the time. You know, if you're playing locally, and it becomes more of an introspective kind of thing where it's like, well, we're playing for the same group of friends
Right.
every night, you know, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine, but it's different.
Well, I'm looking forward, as we said earlier, you're going to be playing at Sophia's tonight, and I'm probably going to have something that's in your CD, because your CD in the booklet has a nice picture on the back of a bottle of Woodford Reserve, and that's my favorite drink.
Nice.
So who came up with that idea?
Well,
Who drinks Woodford Reserve?
Yeah, that's
do.
kind of why it's in there. Right?
You
We
all
enjoy
do.
it.
That photo is from a band trip. So.
Okay, so can you play another one for us?
you bet.
Okay, what's
Yeah.
this one going to be?
I think we'd like to play a song that I wrote for Doc Watson, and it's a waltz. And,
Okay.
And I used to live in Valles, North Carolina, just around the bend from Deep Gap, where he lived. And he was always just a huge musical inspiration. But anytime
Yeah.
you saw him play and the way he carried himself on stage, and his humility, despite how popular he became an inspiration to me. And he gave an interview one time where he talked about, and I fell in love with the Western North Carolina mountains a long time ago, but it became so crowded, and the town of Boone, North Carolina got really packed with cars and big highways, and I always loved the story that Doc would tell about walking from Deep Gap to Boone, and 7-8 miles,
Right.
and then it was a dirt road back then, and that he would walk with his guitar in hand and go to town and play music. And over the years, he couldn't walk by himself. He was blind,
Right.
and they paved the road, and it got trafficy, and he talked about how he couldn't hear certain birds anymore, and that the mountains were changing around him, and just picturing how that would feel to someone that couldn't see those changes that he saw in his life. So
And so this song is about what you thought or think his experiences might have been.
that's right. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Just
and
beautiful.
it's a track off our new record.
Right,
so.
right. Good plug.
Used to walk to town on a dirt road, ran right through here. And all I ever heard were mockingbird and old whippoorwill. I remember every twist and turn, each and every bend. And how that wind always blew when I'd head home again. 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 I remember just exactly the smell of the air. rhododendron and the tulip trees, Rosalie's hair. When that wind would lay down, that old road would talk. And those whispering woods, that river of rhymes. That river of rhymes. That river of rhymes. That river of rhymes. Now all there is blacktop and cars flying by. They don't stop, they don't talk, just roll right on by. Just roll right on by. Just roll right on by. Just roll right on by.
Amazing. So who wrote the lyrics to that?
I did.
You did. Do you ever think about that kind of stuff when you're traveling? Think about home?
Oh yeah.
Do you have songs about that?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah.
So that's a great inspiration, home, because you hear that in so many musicians. They talk about what life was like that they can't grab anymore.
Yes.
So yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And who wrote the score, the music? Also you, or?
I wrote the music. We kind of arranged it together as a
Okay.
band, and the chorus. You know, I had an idea for how that was going to happen, but when Dave added in his harmony,
Right.
and it just kind of came together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the harmony guy, Dave.
I'm the harmony guy.
How come?
I don't know. And we're lucky that I can find these that our voices work well together. You know, and I can usually find that a higher harmony to Scott's voice, and we kind of like on that song, I almost simulate like a third harmony coming in at the end.
Your harmonies are awesome.
Yeah.
They really are. Do you guys sit in the car and just practice?
No.
Huh? No?
No, we practice a lot. I mean, as far as we work on these songs a lot, but we don't get too much into it.
In your tour now, Scott, are you planning, especially in the summer, a lot of these music fests that are coming up? For like you have the Bluegrass Fest and the Folk Music Fest and all of that?
We do. We're just starting to kind of dial in our summer schedule.
Okay.
I know the first thing we have coming up is playing a concert series festival in Ophir, Colorado.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
another one in Colorado called Rapid Grass that we're real excited about.
Okay.
But we're still solidifying the rest of our summer plans.
Day jobs. You guys still have some day jobs, or have you turned pro now?
We still have day jobs.
You do?
We still
Okay.
have jobs to kind of fill in.
Yeah.
And,
Can I ask what your day job
Sure.
is?
I pick up biological work.
Biological work.
Yeah, I'm a biologist, or I have training in biology. So go out and hoot for owls, for one thing. Look for rare cacti, or eagle surveys, or aquatic surveys. I do a lot of
Wow.
water sampling.
Amazing.
Yeah, and Pat here is a massage therapist.
Really?
He gives massages.
And
I'm a musician right now. I used to do landscaping, but
you're 100%.
I'm 100% broke. Yeah. No.
And the last person there,
I manage and caretake a small lodge.
a small lodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick up side work. So.
All right.
Which turns out to be a great practice space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, when it comes to a day job, at what point would you decide, I would much rather spend my time and effort in the music side than the day job side? Now, I know the day job side pays the bills, but there comes a point when you have to make a decision. I can either do more of one or less of the other, or vice versa.
Right. I think it's the whole thing is just a balance. You know, trying to find that middle ground. I think all of us would probably rather play music, but you know, some of us have families too that we have to balance
Right.
that as well, or other just hobbies.
Right, right.
Dave spends some time in Mexico, and that's important to him, so he steals away to do that. And Pat has a lovely daughter named Isla.
Nice.
And Jeff has this beautiful lodge that he caretakes there in the Eastern Sierra.
Yeah. So yeah, day jobs. Do any of the other band members here feel that day job really is a big interference to your musical life, or can you balance it?
No, I think we get out as much as we possibly can as far
Okay.
as playing music. What's really neat is we all have some sort of situation or arrangement that allows us to leave for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And most jobs aren't like that. You can't leave for 3 weeks every few months. So
Yeah, exactly.
we're just really fortunate in many ways, that being one of them.
The masseuse part of it. So now I'm back to you, the masseuse part. Do you ever start humming a tune while you're working someone's shoulders or backs?
There would have to be a very mellow tune. Not so bluegrass.
Have you ever conceived of a tune while you're doing that?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Plenty of time to mind wander, think about that stuff.
Can we hear it?
You hear it?
Yeah, you can. Well, we're slowly running out of time here. You guys had indicated you're on the road every 2 or 3 months, right? So you're going to be doing this 16, 18 city night tour, and then you're back to wherever you come from, and then you plan this whole tour again. Who does the planning for you?
Dave and I mostly do.
Okay.
A lot
And
of
is that hard work? I mean, here you find there's several venues here in Davis, but you're going to Sophia's. How do you actually pick the venue in a town or city or burg you're going to?
There's an enormous amount of meticulous research that we do of trying to figure out the right place for our music, and a lot of it's just we found that knowing musicians in town, like in Davis, we have some friends here, and Pan Mixia, and
Yeah.
they encouraged us that this was the right fit and that we should go here to Sophia's, and it looks like the weather's going to cooperate
Well,
perfectly.
the weather's
so-
going to be great.
Yeah, just kind of combing the. I'm not sure how people did it before the internet. The internet's such an amazing tool to be able to just look at newspapers and see where other people are playing.
I've talked with artists that were even older than me, and they said in the days of old, they would just travel to a town and find a place, and there was no, calling ahead or anything like that. And if someone was playing there that night, they'd play with them, or they'd even hang out another day or two and then play. So yeah, that was how it was done. Okay, before we run out of time, can we have a song?
Yeah.
Okay, which one is this one?
Well, I think we're going to do one called Empty Road.
Empty Road. Okay, is that from the CD here?
It is, yeah.
Great.
We put in a lot of miles on the road doing this kind of touring stuff. Just getting the tires rotated right now, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Empty road and an empty mind. I'm staring south down the dotted line all alone. Nothing but time. myself, I'm better off with somebody else, at least myself for a while. But it's dark and cold and windy night, broken only by my headlights. No town for me to lay my eyes. Something's got to break the silence, if only I hear a lone coyote's cry. I'll know that I find my way. I'll know that I find my way. Oh, I find my way. Oh, I find my way. Somewhere I must begin to see and feel and smile again. But it's an empty word and an empty hand. I'm staring deep into a sorrow, my friends, and it scares me, my friends. Yeah, it scares me, my friends. Oh, I find my way. Oh, I find my way. I find my way. Oh, I find my way. Oh, I find my way. Oh, I find my way. It's an empty road and an empty mind. I'm staring south down the dotted line all alone. Nothing but time.
Very cool, very cool. You're not out of the hot seat yet, Scott. Jeff, you were in the groove. Your eyes were closed. You were kind of like in a song and not in Davis.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sometimes you have to put yourself there.
Yeah, exactly. It almost sounds like all of you are in that groove.
I'm getting there.
So yeah, you're getting there all right. So you're listening to KDRT and 95.7 FM in Davis and on Comcast Channel 15. And the name of the show is Live in the Loam. It's a pop-up show where we interview groups and artists coming through town. And today we're listening to Sweetwater String Band, and they're visiting us because they're playing at Sophia's tonight. So we have a few minutes left and we need to wrap this thing up here.
Sweet.
But I want to just talk a little bit more about this CD, because this CD is just, once you put it on on your CD player in the car, you kind of want to keep hearing what else are they going to do? What else are they going to do? For a group like you that is into the music scene but still has day jobs, this is a huge investment.
Yes.
Was there a lot of discussion for you to put out something this professional?
No, I think it was just
No.
kind of common sense the next direction we needed to go. And it was an investment in time and money for sure, but it's already more than paid for itself back. So
Really?
we're really happy with the way it came out and already itching to do it again.
Good, good.
Already.
And you'll be selling these tonight?
We will be.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's hope you sell a few tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jeff, I wanted to get back to you one more time on your guitar there. What is that you're playing there? I see some, it almost looks like it's oyster shells or something on the top of the neck there.
Yeah.
With the logo. What brand is that?
This is a Santa Cruz.
Okay.
It's called the Santa Cruz Guitar Company. From Santa Cruz, California. And the guy that owns the company, Richard Hoover, I believe is his name. He started doing this, I think it's something like 30 years ago. Started building guitars, and he's really made a big name for himself.
Okay.
And they're still considered a boutique, small company.
Yeah.
You know, probably less than 10,000 guitars a year. And but yeah, it's just I love it, and until it's gone, it's the only one I need.
Okay, it looks fairly new. Either it's new or you're taking very, very good care of it.
Yeah, it's about I think it's like 16 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So.
very good. And you have a little story about yours from Berkeley.
This mandolin came
Yeah.
from Berkeley.
And it's older than 15 years.
It is not.
It isn't.
It's maybe I don't take good care of it as Jeff takes care of this
I mean,
guitar.
look at it.
Yeah, some of
know?
these are mysterious too. I'm not actually sure how
What happened?
that wear happens. But this is an Eastman mandolin, which isn't a high-end mandolin by any means, but it's I just scored. I've picked up lots of Eastman since then, and none of them have the kind of quality of sound that I get from this. And I've had a lot of other fellow mandolin players pick it up and just can't believe it's an Eastman. So
Do you, when you find yourself in different cities, go to the different music stores and record stores and also music stores to see what's available? I know, like in a little town in Winters, just up the road here, they have I forget the name of it, but they have a place that makes custom guitars. And there's one here in Davis also. Do you guys look those places up, or you just stick to what you're doing here, playing music?
I think before we go out on the road, we have in our heads of all these things that we're going to have time to go do. And then when we actually get in the van,
We don't
all of a
do
sudden
any of
the only time we have is to show up, make sure we're fed and perform.
What do you play? You're all traveling in one van, right?
Yeah.
So what's on the radio? What do you plug in on your CD or iPhones or whatever? What kind of music?
Well, believe it or not, we all have so much to say, we hardly listen to music at all.
Really? Really?
Especially our guitar player has lots of things to talk about. Sometimes we have to put on the music just to kind of kill the conversation.
Right, right.
But no, we listened to some Hot Rise on the way here, their new record.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
And I'm not familiar
Hot
with that.
Rise is a great bluegrass band that's been around for a long time, but they just put out a new record with a new guitar player named Brian Sutton.
Okay, so it's you're sticking it to the same genre that you're in.
Yes, but we played in Lagunitas last night, and there was a young lady there that gave us her new CD of electronica music, and so that's gonna.
Who was that?
Lenka?
No,
Yeah.
don't know her.
But we're
So-
excited to check that out. We're gonna do some little electronica. Maybe we'll do that right after this. We'll go get in the van and just drive around.
Right. What is the largest group you've ever played for and the smallest group?
Oh, I'm terrible at estimating numbers, but the festival gigs are certainly the most
Several
people.
hundred.
Yeah, or a few thousand.
Yeah,
At the
okay.
bigger festivals.
Nice.
But and then the smallest, we were just talking about a gig recently that we played in Taos one time, and we started playing and no one was there. And what happened was down the street in the plaza they had a big festival, and we had booked the same night outside
Right,
of town. And it was
right.
just a mistake. This woman walks in and says, after one song, she looks around and there's nobody there, and she's like, "Oh, I thought there was going to be a concert here tonight."
Oh. Well, I've been to a few shows where only 3 or 4 people have showed up, and sometimes those are the best performances. Because I've talked to enough musicians that say, that they have a harder time focusing on their music when there's just a handful of people instead of thousands, because all of a sudden it becomes so personal. Do you get that sense?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
You get a little more uptight when there's only 4 or 5 people, because you know they're going to listen to your lyrics.
Yes.
They know if you're going to be off key. When you're playing at a place like Sophia's, there's going to be a crowd there, and a little screw up here and there probably won't affect the situation
Right.
that much.
Yeah, no, we have to kind of dial the show in for the crowd, because we do like those intimate shows because people are paying attention to the lyrics.
Right.
And since we actually care about what we're saying, we focus on those songs more. Whereas if it's a dance party, we'll
Right.
still play some of those songs, but we focus more on our more upbeat stuff and try to give give everyone a good time.
Yeah. Have you already started talking about your next CD?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
What kind of music?
Yeah.
That'd probably be similar, but some of the songwriting is evolving.
Yeah.
Even more. This record is much different from our first album, and we're hoping that the third one will be
Right.
even more different.
Okay. Well, we've got, we're going to be wrapping up here, and we're going to ask you guys to play a song to fade us out with. But before I do that, or before you do that, I want to thank you, all of you, all 4 of you, because we know your time's valuable. I'm not a musician, but I really appreciate musicians sharing their talent, and you make life worthwhile for a whole bunch of us. So thank you.
Well, we appreciate you having
Yeah.
us. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good luck tonight. Good luck on your tour. Thanks again. And which song are you going to play leaving us?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah. We'll do another one off this new CD, and it'll be one called A Million Miles.
A Million Miles. Thanks again, guys.
You got me on.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So throw your salt on my wounds, and let's lay down another tune. Go ahead and pass the whiskey round, and by tomorrow I'll be a million miles from here. By tomorrow I'll be a million miles from here. I could pretend this ain't the end, that this is just another day, that it ain't hard to say goodbye. By tomorrow I'll be a million miles from here. By tomorrow I'll be a million miles from here. back, or if this is just a one-way